Well, Keith, thank you for coming on the Red Carpet Round Table.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate
You're
it.
very welcome. Let's dig into tell everybody about yourself and what got you into this entertainment industry.
Uh, well, uh, it's interesting because I feel like ever since I was a kid, I've always enjoyed entertaining people, but never really, I say found out that I was an actor until maybe it was junior year. Yeah, I think it was junior year of high school. We read Hamlet, and once we were finished reading it, we watched the Kenneth Branagh 4 hour movie. And I remember just like trying not to cry in front of my friends and just like loving every minute of it and just being like, oh, maybe that's what I want to do. Because I'm also a musician and I was planning on going to college as a music major, which I actually did for my first semester, but then I switched to a film major, learned how they made movies. But I also took every acting class that they offered, and I also went to Russia and studied at the Moscow Art Theater School for a portion of my first semester senior year. And then immediately, once I graduated in 2015, moved right out here to LA. I'm from the East Coast originally, so yeah, I've been here for 10 years.
Wow, welcome to the entertainment industry.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
what is do you, correction, are you working on any current projects?
No, right now it's just securing new representation. I've been with, many different agents and managers and it's kind of part of the gig is just like trying to find who's the right fit.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had a couple people who were the right fit for a while. And then, you realize you got to make a change. And yeah, I actually just today actually started with a new agency to see if we're a fit, and so I'm pretty excited about that. Yeah, so just auditioning mostly for co-stars on television. Every once in a while, a big feature film audition will come up, which is really nice when those happen. But I mean, I'm grateful for anything that comes through, you know.
Very true. Auditions, it's so tough. And what is the most challenging for you as doing auditions?
Um, it's it's funny because nowadays it's like it's really cool because you get to self-tape at home and you can do it as many times as you want until you get it perfect. But that also is the bad thing about it
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because you can beat a dead horse, so to speak, and lose the life of it after, you try it for 30 takes or whatever. But um I think yeah, I would rather be going in to actually meet these people, meet casting and have them, I think it's probably easier for them to remember folks if they have an interaction with them, but I'm sure they're good at it with the self tapes as well. But yeah, I think the toughest part is just not being able to do it once and leave. I'll do it and then watch it and then do it and then watch it and do it and then watch it. Um, but I mean, I guess I kind of like that too, because I direct myself or my fiance will direct me and we'll tend to
Mm-hmm.
find things together, which is really good. But yeah, I like to watch myself, no matter how painful it is sometimes.
Right, right.
I find that I have to because I can catch myself acting. Like I know when I'm acting and when I'm actually in it and giving something honest. So it is necessary, I think, to watch myself. I know a lot of people can't do it. They'll just film it and send it off and hope for the best, but
What's
I have
the,
to see it.
pardon me, for you, by you watching yourself, how does it help you?
Well, it's one of these things that I do also when I'm watching movies and TV is I kind of get like actually a physical feeling throughout myself when I don't believe something. So when I hear an actor say a line and I'm for some reason what sometimes I'll even pause it. It's like an exercise for me too, and I just kind of do it out of habit now. It's kind of second nature, but I'll have to like pause it and go, wait a second, I don't believe that. I don't buy that. So why is it that I don't buy that? Yeah, is it something to do with how we speak as, people in the real world, and that's just not how we do things, or what is it? And so I can see when I do that. So if I'm watching a self-tape and if there's any moment where I'm watching and I go, "Ooh, that I even for that just like little couple of milliseconds, if I don't believe myself and I catch myself acting is what I call it, then I have to do it over again. And it helps because if I watch through the whole thing and I don't have any of those physical feelings or reactions, then I know like, okay, I think this is the one. And so that helps. And also I can just see little moments where I'm
Mhm.
like, you know what, it'd be cool if I added this here or added that here. Or actually, I don't think I'm getting what the script is actually wanting here. So maybe I can tweak things. And I mean, there's a lot. And of course, like I said, my fiance is a huge help when we do the auditions because
Very
she'll,
interesting. So the way I'm looking at it, it helps you study your own character.
oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. Study the own character, but also study the technique or lack thereof if I don't seem to be, hitting the mark. But yeah, it's almost like I'm not necessarily just listening with my ears and watching with my eyes. I'm absorbing it with my whole self, and that's
Hmm.
how a lot of these times I can watch myself and it's it's almost like when you hear a sound that you don't like. Like I don't like the sound of a vacuum cleaner or like something slamming on the ground or something. So it's like almost a cacophonous thing that happens, and I'm like, oh no, that it's like nails on a chalkboard. I can hear when it's off, and or music even. It's like I don't like that music. Let's try it a different way.
Hmm.
Yeah,
That's very interesting perspective that you like to watch yourself so it can help you
yeah.
become a good
I
character.
don't necessarily like it.
Oh,
I just
correction.
sometimes I do if it's going well, but I don't necessarily like it. I just for me I think it's necessary. I think I have to because
Hmm.
that is yeah, it's just something that helps me to, I think, get it right, in which that is, and whatever right means. But yeah, it can be painful if I'm not getting it right and I can't figure out
Right.
why. But
Well, no, for
yeah.
me, it's just I like it when you said it's necessary to
Mhm.
watch yourself. You
Yes.
know, correction. I know you didn't say I don't like it,
It's all
but
good.
it's
Yeah.
necessary, and that's a very good point. What you said to help you get become a better character.
Mhm.
That is a very I wanted to dig into that. That's very helpful. And I think it may actually help other future actors as well.
Yeah, I mean that's really the goal. Of course, like I my career is like something that I've been working on for 10 years and I will continue to work on it. I'll always be learning, I'll always be evolving. But one of the things that I want to do along the way is help. I have a TikTok channel where I just do advice for people who might just be starting that are maybe a couple of chapters behind me. And I think that's a big part of because I had some of the most amazing teachers, professors, master teachers, and they really, really inspired me and
Hmm.
helped build this foundation that I build everything on. And so I'd like to sort of my way of giving back is doing these TikTok videos. And then, yeah, if any, younger folks or beginners see this, if one person gets something out of something that I say about how I do things, then that's everything to me.
Amen. Change somebody or change the audience in the room.
Oh yes, yeah.
That's for sure. Um, you know, as being an actor, what is the most fun thing have you noticed about it?
I mean, I like learning, and I like I said about my favorite teachers and professors, and uh, the fact that acting is it's the study of life and mirroring
Hmm.
life, and I really love the fact that I feel like I live a fuller life because of this craft and the study of it, because I
Amen.
feel like I understand people more, I understand
Hmm.
myself more. And so that allows me to understand interaction, understand where people are coming from, maybe different points of view and things, and understand that I'm seeing the world through my eyes, and there are infinite amount of other points of view aside from mine that
Hmm.
are walking around me each day, and this person is seeing the world differently, this person is seeing the world differently. And something that I think we forget a lot is like your point of view of a situation is vastly different from everybody else's point of view of a
Very true.
situation. Even the smallest and simplest situations can be looked at in an infinite number of ways. So it's something that I think really enriches life to understand and see and look at it from that way. And like I said, I've gotten to study with some amazing people, especially my trip to Russia. The learning of it, I think, is a lot of what I find the joy in
Hmm.
is just getting better because you'll never know everything. You'll never
Right,
have it down.
100%.
It'll
You
never be
acting,
perfect. Yeah.
acting, you are learning. You're still
Yes.
learning. Everybody's still
It'll
learning.
it'll
How,
never be perfect. Yeah.
right, 100%. What helps you get into character?
That is like a a question that I think I try to answer every single time I get a role. And I do it. I like to let the project dictate what it needs. So um you could go back and look at like all the actors who are watching this, they know the name Stanislavski. And one of the things that he would teach is that all of this is just technique that is a safety net. So
Hmm.
if you feel
Hmm.
lost, use this. But if you're not lost, you already know how things are going and what you're supposed to be doing. Forget about it. Don't muddle it with this stuff if you don't need it. And so having all that stuff to fall back on. But and I'm losing the question. I'm losing your question as I'm rambling about this. The initial question was what what
How do
was
you get into character?
oh yes, yes. So I like to let the project dictate what it needs. And so if I'm good, like maybe it's just a co-star audition and it's like one or two lines or whatever, and it's just getting information out there.
Hmm.
I don't
Hmm.
need to do a whole backstory. I don't need to like, I'm there to say the lines and get out. So I don't necessarily need to do a whole lot there. But, something with a little more meat on the bones, perhaps like I auditioned for this movie called Saturday Night that Jason Reitman made about Saturday Night Live on the first night that it aired.
Oh,
And
wow.
yeah, and I auditioned to be a real person. So I had to actually watch videos, listen to audio and mannerism and a lot of stuff. I like to absorb as much as I possibly can if it's something that needs that.
Hmm.
So I find that um, clothing or, anything I can do to kind of physically feel like I'm in the shoes. Voice is a huge thing for me. I did a lot of voice work in school, and I've always sort of had this fascination with sound alikes and impressions and just vocal things. I sing, and so I think finding the voice is a really big thing. One of my professors used to say, uh, if you can find the breath, you can find the character. So I like to sometimes start with that. Just how does this character breathe? How do they, think about the differences and the similarities between myself and them and find a way
Hmm.
to bridge that gap. And voice is a big part of that for me because I can ask myself, does this person speak slower or faster than me? And why? Simple things like that. And you can find a lot of answers in that. And that's where I kind of start a lot of the time is what do they sound like? And sometimes that can lead me to physicality because sometimes you have to move yourself in a certain way to sound a certain way because your body is the
Right.
instrument, like an accordion. You have to move it a certain way in order for it to sound a certain way. So, I mean, we could spend, 8 of your podcast episodes talking about stuff like that. I could just go and go and go, but those are just some things to scratch the
Hmm.
surface. But,
Well,
or yeah,
it's good you're going into it because help future actors.
yeah. And I mean, like, it's really I think the big thing, the most important thing is that you have an imagination that is vast. And that I think is one of the things that I learned in college that people don't, I don't think, I mean, I could be wrong, but the people that I've met, I don't think I've met a lot of people who learn in this way where most of the exercises and things are geared towards imagination and expanding that imagination. There's a lot of scene study nowadays.
Hmm.
Everybody's doing scene study, scene study, scene study. But coming to a scene study with already a foundation of, I have now awoken the imagination that I had when I was a kid that I've lost along the
Hmm.
way. And that was a lot of what,
Hmm.
Russia was all about.
Well,
We
you
didn't,
notice
yeah.
you said imagination. That's very true. It falls into
Yeah.
being an actor. We,
Hmm.
I mean, it's a we, but a lot of actors, I'm not an actor, so, but a lot of actors fall into that, wow, my brain froze. Imagination.
Yeah.
Apologize.
Okay.
Imagination because we are storytelling.
Hmm.
We're telling the audience what we want to tell. Now,
Yeah.
when I say we, meaning us as in the entertainment industry, we are
Hmm.
telling people stories.
Yeah.
That's the key, true story or not.
Hmm.
And we want to change one person in that movie theater or in the living room,
Hmm.
maybe everybody in that theater. We want them to leave and memorizing, wow, that character went into depth and that hit me. That line hit me. That's what
Yeah.
we want. We all of us, and that's
Oh,
what we
yes.
we want to memorize. That's one thing for sure. Has there ever been a character that dramatically changed you?
Um, well, a character that I've played or
You have
yeah.
played.
Well, my first I think a lot of this sort of enlightening that happened to me was it was in college where I really started to get serious about this work. And the cool thing was is that I was a film major, but I also was taking every single acting class that they offered. So I was kind of like in with both crowds. So at any given time, I could be doing a play and three short films all at once. So I got a lot of experience, which was awesome. And so my very first lead role in a theater production was for Fahrenheit 451, and I played the lead Guy Montag. Um, and that mingled with one of the short films that I did while I was there, kind of clued me into the fact that like, okay, you are serious about this now because they were kind of some of the first characters that I really dug into and understood the work of finding character. Um, and I mean, just the stories too. Guy Montag and Fahrenheit 451, and this character that I played in this short film, who was during World War II. He was afraid of being drafted, and just dealing with kind of heavier themes.
Hmm.
And because most of the stuff that I'd done up at that point was like comedy and fun and stuff, this was like we're telling a real kind of grounded story that you need to find a way to bring it down into this sort of. So those were kind of really moments for me that really kind of started me off in this direction of, oh, I can really dig deep and get my hands dirty and the exploration of the human soul and all of that. So it really was a big kind of start for me.
That's very fascinating. You said it again. Get deep into the soul of
Hmm.
acting.
Oh,
You
yes.
know, that's the one thing about actors is that not many people realize is that when you get deep into a soul of acting, is we are going into our body is present, but we are stepping into someone else's character. That's the thing.
Yeah. And I think it's I was actually talking to an actor friend today about this. I was like, how do you know if you've done it well? Is there something that happens to you? And I was remembering in some classes that I've been in where I'll put a scene up or whatever. When the scene's over, if I can't remember, I probably went well. Because
Right.
I was if I
I was about to ask you that question. How do you
yeah.
know you did it well? But you beat me.
Well, and you, of course, like you don't get to decide, the audience gets to decide if you did it well, but there's a feeling that you get when you're done and you go, I think I left it all out there. I think I gave it everything I got.
That's pardon me, that's the
Oh,
thing.
good.
You just said
Yeah.
it. You want to leave it all out there. How did you know you did well is a question anybody's a normal person to ask yourself, any actor or actresses out there, and you're right. If you can't memorize a line, that means you know you did it well. My personal opinion, because if that means what I think, and I'm pretty sure any actor would think the same as well.
Yeah, I would forget how it went, and I'd kind of almost black out, and then they'd be like, "How did you think you did?" And I'd be like, "I don't remember. You tell me. Was it good or was it not?" Um, and then, that's, obviously for theater, you don't know. And then for when you're doing films and stuff, you can watch it back and you can go, like I said before, oh man, I didn't buy that. I should have done this instead or whatever. Or yeah, I
Hmm.
think I can get on board with this. I could buy that, you know. So it's but that's the fun part of it is like you give everything you got and then you're giving it away at that point. It is somebody else's that they get to decide, that was good or that, I don't know about that. And that's I love that because you get that feedback and you understand now, okay, well, I did this one pretty well. So I know what I did for this one. So now let's try to maybe keep going in that
Hmm.
direction. I like feedback regardless. Obviously, negative feedback is never fun to get, but it's always good because I don't want just good feedback all the time. I need to have things to learn and to grow from.
Right.
So I would rather get, I'd rather get, yeah, this was awesome, but what about
Get
this, this, and
feedbacks
this?
that will help you.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's my journey is like
Hmm.
how can
Hmm.
I always want to be on the up. I always want
Up
to
the
be
hill.
getting better. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is that's like we talked about earlier. You're never going to be perfect. You're never going to find all the answers, but if you can just keep striving to be better and better and evolve and continue to do that, that's the goal for me.
Amen. You said it right there. 100%. What is your why? Why are you doing this?
Another thing we could talk about for hours.
I know
There's
it's a kind of different question, but it's more about
I I
yourself.
I love
You
it
know,
because I think people should know, you should be able to put your finger on why you do this and why you do anything really. But for this, for me, there's so many reasons, but it really does come down to kind of partially what we were talking about before, which is if somebody can watch something that I was a part of and uh, it makes them think about their own life, it makes them think about, you know, man, maybe I should call my mom more. Oh man, maybe I should think about, maybe I should do this thing that people keep telling me is a hobby, but I
hmm
feel like it's more. Or maybe I should, I feel like I really do believe that a good story and a good piece of art can change the trajectory of somebody's life, and I'm proof of that because that's what happened to me. Um, and so that's really where I would like my journey to go is helping people to learn something about themselves. If like you said, if one person in that theater can change because they saw something, that's huge. And also, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I got selfish reasons too. Like I want to be remembered for something. I want to have a legacy. I want people to look back on my career and go, man, there will never be another Keith Gallucci. I have a like a complex about being forgotten. So I would like to be remembered for something,
hmm
and this is the thing that I want to be remembered for. But and then, like I said, to teach as well. Just I love being able to, look back at folks who might be, like I said, a few chapters behind in their story and help them up a little bit. Make sure it's a little bit easier for them than it was for me because I came out here and had no contacts, no nothing. I just had to figure it out for myself. So if I can help somebody else's journey be a little bit easier, because it is not easy, the
Right.
journey. Yeah.
100%. And that's good. You like to be remembered. Anybody wants to be remembered. That's good motto for sure.
Yeah, I think some people probably, I think I maybe preoccupy myself with that thought a little bit more than I should. Because it is crippling sometimes you can panic about stuff like that. Like, what if I'm forgotten? What if you know what I mean? So,
100%. I don't think, to be honest, I don't think anybody wants to think like that. But also, everybody believes. What I mean is, I believe that everyone thinks like that because you want to be remembered for the things you've done for the community and what you've done in the film industry. So,
Yeah,
100%, Keith,
I definitely do.
I totally
Yeah,
agree with you.
yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. Um, what would you tell your 7-year-old Keith?
7 years old. You can do anything, but it's gonna be tough. So be ready for that. Um, but you can do anything and never lose sight of that. That's the thing. And
Hmm.
and I don't and I wish I could think of something that might actually give me an extra leg up now if I could go back in time and be like, "Oh man, you should do this thing and that'll help you to be successful earlier." But I don't know what that is yet. So but what I know is you can do anything, and I believe that my whole life because thankfully I had a lot of good support around me. And I've always believed that I can do this thing, and I've never once thought of quitting, which is really annoying when I hear the famous actors on the talk shows be like, "I was like a week away from quitting, and then I got booked on this huge thing," and it's like, well, maybe I should think about quitting for a second just to see what happens. No,
But you know,
but
that's the
now,
one thing we want to help spread awareness. Don't quit. You know, it's a
never, yeah.
hard journey.
But that's the thing is the people who need it, people who feel it on a cellular level, that won't even be a thought that they entertain.
Mhm.
it's never been even a possibility in my mind because
No.
it,
Just keep going, keep
yeah,
fighting. That's the
you have
thing
to,
about
yeah,
the being in the entertainment industry is that it's not easy. It's not bitter. It's not sweet. It's just audition, 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 hard role, and hard work pays off. So, you know, I totally understand. You know, we have to support each other and, you know, be strong because being in the
yeah.
entertainment industry is tough.
Yeah, and you do, like you said, we had to support each other. And I was in college, and there was like a couple of groups of people. We'd always, there would be this group making short films, and there'd be this group making short films, and there was kind of like this rivalry. And then like later on, we all realized that like we're all pretty good at what we do, and we should probably just pool our talents and make something even cooler. And that's like when you start to realize like it's not a competition. Like
No.
there's so much thought around competition out
Right.
here,
And it's a
and it's
family.
just
We become a
yeah.
family.
Yeah, like everybody's, most people, there's of course people out there who don't have the best intentions. That's always going to happen with everything. But there's the people who are really here and really need it. It's
Hmm.
like we all just want to make something cool and make
Right.
something that is going to uh, make people feel something. So why not just, pool our talents and do it, like make it happen.
Yes. 100%.
Yeah.
100%. Well, Keith, you know, I'm here for you. I'm supporting you.
I
Thank you
appreciate
for
you.
thank
Back
you for
at you.
coming on the Red
Thank
Carpet
you.
Roundtable.
Oh, but thanks for having me. I really appreciate
You
it.
know, I am I would love to have you back
Oh yeah, yeah.
always. Um,
Absolutely. I would love to come back. Yeah.
yeah, any roles that you've done, I would love to talk about it. You know,
Sure.
and that's
Yeah.
what this is what I do. I interview big actors and beginner actors, wherever you are in the career. I love interviewing because I want to hear stories like yours. Anybody's story, how they
Mhm.
got into the entertainment industry, what inspired them, what keeps them going. Also,
Mhm.
you're encouraging upcoming younger generation in this entertainment industry. That's the thing.
Yeah.
So it's fun, it's challenging, but don't give up. So
Absolutely.
I'm here for you. I'm cheering for you, and I definitely can't wait to have you back.
Yeah. Same. Same. Thank you
And
so much. I
before I
really
let you
appreciate it.
go,
Yeah.
where can people find you on social media and connect with you?
It's just you'll see when this gets put out how to spell my name, but it's and Keith Gallucci on Instagram and TikTok. So it's just my first and last name, but before that you put an and like you see in the movie credits where it says with this person and this person. So and Keith Gallucci on Instagram and TikTok.
Well, thank you again for coming on, and
Thank
I
you.
look forward to speaking with you again soon.
Same. Back at you.
All right, thank you. I'll talk to you
Thank
soon.
you. Have a good one.
Bye.